Okay, I'm reloaded.
Smoking blunts, I swear the don't say to my lip. I'm always on time, that's why I got it on my wrist. You can't really like me for boy, but I know you wish. Every time I shoot this ball, I swear it never miss. Pockets full, that's why I swear to keep my pants up. Spending all this money on my bitches, getting pampered. Money on my body, I'm no fucking Green Lantern. I feel this motherfucker out the lot, ain't got no manners.
What's up, everybody? My name is Keaton Good, and welcome back to Keaton Talks Sports. We are approaching our 10th episode, which is amazing. Today, we are wearing UCLA number 2, Lonzo Ball.
But that's the kind of half that Lonzo Ball has had, hitting that 30-footer.
Ugh, that shit's cold. You're going to see why later, why I'm wearing this jersey. There is a reason. There's a method to my madness today. That being said, though, this is the Bracketology special, baby. This is the episode that you're going to want to watch. If you haven't watched my other ones, this is what you need to see in order to win your March Madness pool, to have the perfect bracket, everything that you need for March Madness. I got you. I got this! Overall, this episode will mostly just be the first round. I'm recording this on March 17th. This is before any of the first 4 games are played. I'll give a couple takes on those, not too many. I really am kind of indifferent on those games this year. Last year, they're really good, but this year right now, just more indifferent, I guess. But with that being said, we're just going to go over the first round, each region by region, what I like, what I dislike, yada, yada, yada. You know the gist. First, before we start off with anything, though, I just want to say thank you for being here. You are valued. You are loved. Please like, comment, subscribe, everything. And let's just jump right into it. We're going to start off in the East region. Starting off in the East region, the first comment I want to say about this is, wow. This is just a bracket of coaches. I love this. You have John Shire's Duke, which, quick point about them, Caleb Foster probably is going to be out until the Final Four. That could be huge. They do have a pretty, I don't want to call it an easy path, but they do have a somewhat easy path up until about the Sweet 16 Final Four stage. So, could be very, very interesting with him out. But as far as the coaches go, we got John Shire's Duke, we got Rick Pitino's St. John's, we got Bill Self's Kansas, we got Tom Izzo's Michigan State, and Dan Hurley's UConn. 5 of the top, 10 to 15 coaches in college basketball right now, / legendary coaches, just amazing coaches, all jammed together in the same region, in that East region. Another thing that I want to point out, too, is we're going to start with the first game of the entire tournament. The first game of the entire tournament is Ohio State and TCU. That's going to be a banger. 2 teams that have been playing very, very well towards this back half of the season. And I'm just, wow, in awe, basically, at this game. Just being the first game to start the whole tournament. It's going to kick it off amazing. That'll be at 11:15 on Thursday. And I'm going to just take TCU. I'm going to be a little Big 12 biased. Ohio State, though, is very, very good. They've played very, very good. But these are 2 teams, too, that are pretty fast-paced. They love to run in transition. This will be a very good game. I don't know. I'm leaning TCU right now. Leaning TCU. Moving on down the bracket, because, we're going to go Duke. Obviously, it's an easy win versus Siena. I really don't need to talk about that at all. St. John's and UNI. This game is going to be a lot better than people expect. I'm still going to lean St. John's, but one thing that we see, especially in these lower seed versus higher seed matchups, when the lower seed is a very slow pace of play team. Oh, And here's my co-host, Rose. Interesting take on all of that. Okay, so it looks like we're doing this one together. But when those lower seeds, or I guess technically higher seeds, like a 12 seed like you and I this year, when they are a very slower pace of play style of team, but can hit shots at a very high level like you and I, they're 364th in pace of play, but in their last 10 games, they are shooting 41% from 3. They are shooting the absolute lights out. And that is another thing like that you and I is going to be able to use to their advantage, I think. Another thing, though, is they only allow 4.6 fast break points per game. You and I does. They slow the game down. They play at their pace, and they hit shots, and that's where upsets come.
Thumbing bands up, damn, hopping out the lamp, trying to put my pants up.
St. John's, though, is a very good rebounding team. You and I, on the flip side, is not. And St. John's, with a guy like Zuby Ejiofor, is just going to be dominant down low. I'm still going to take St. John's, but watch out for this game. This will be Friday at 6:10. Watch out for that game, because you and I, they've had Cinderella-type seasons before in March Madness, and this could be no different. This could be no different.
Situation. Jesperson, half-court heave for the win.
Moving on, in the East region, we have Kansas versus CA Baptist, California Baptist. This should be a walk in the park for KU, but I've been doing my research on California Baptist. They have a guy, Dominique Daniels, who is averaging 23 points per game this season. This dude is cold. I mean, this dude is straight up nasty. I don't think he's going to be able to, he's not going to be enough. But Dominique Daniels is very nasty. Watch out for him. But KU, I have that one, a cakewalk. But that being said, though, if those two matchups, St. John's and KU, go the right way, we could get a Bill Self and Rick Pitino round of 32 matchup. I mean, the East region is just loaded right now. Loaded. Absolutely loaded. Again, in the East region, Louisville and South Florida. This is a tough game. This is one of those, there's so many games every March Madness. There's so many games where I just flip-flop. I mean, I love March Madness. March Madness is the time of the year. Fucking love March Madness. It clears all other playoff forms. This is the best. Nothing could ever replicate it. Nothing should ever try to replicate it. March Madness is just special the way it is. But a game like Louisville and South Florida, 9 times out of 10, if there was something else on TV, I'm watching that. But because it's March Madness, this game's going to be a banger. I will be taking Louisville, though, just simply because sometimes star players are what takes you over the edge in a March Madness game, especially in the very early ones. And Michael Brown for Louisville should be healthy, should be ready to play. If he is playing, I will take Louisville. I think his scoring is going to just be enough to push Louisville over the edge. But USF, that's a sneaky team. Moving down the bracket, Michigan State versus North Dakota State. I don't really need to take time on that. I'm going to take Tom Izzo's men there. Now, UCLA and UCF. I'm wearing the jersey. We're rocking UCLA. Donovan Dent and Bill Doe and Xavier Booker should all be able to play. And Cronin's team, UCLA right now, is on fire. They are, I believe, one of the few teams poised to make a potential Cinderella run. You might be asking, why would you say that? I think that they have the tools to obviously beat UCF. If UConn beats Furman, I think UCLA could beat UConn and then be in a Sweet 16 matchup with Tom Izzo and Michigan State, who UCLA has beaten this year. I just think UCLA has a chance to at least make the Sweet 16, and then, if you can make the Sweet 16, you can make the Elite Eight. I think that UCLA has really picked it up. Donovan Dent has been playing amazing. UCLA is a team that can make a deep tournament run. Obviously, it would not be easy with UConn, and Michigan State. It's a very tough path, but I could see them being a Sweet 16 team, especially with how they've played the back half of this season. And it seems like they've kind of turned it around a little bit. So that'll be very exciting to see. And that's why we're rocking the Lonzo UCLA jersey. I told you there's a reason. There's a method to my madness. UCLA, watch out for them. Sweet 16, potentially even Elite 8 team this year.
My name is Xander Dingus.
Moving from the East region over to the South region now. Florida is your 1 seed. That's a cakewalk. I really don't see any of the 16 seeds or anything like that doing anything good.
Is there something I gotta know?
But the 8 and 9 seed is very interesting. Iowa and Clemson. It's going to be such a slow-paced slugfest. But right now, Iowa's doing it better than almost anybody else when it comes to being slow-paced but still having good efficiency. Give me Iowa. 9 seeds since 2018, 2019 have had a very, very good track record against 8 seeds. Give me Iowa to continue that streak. Like I said, though, that's going to be a slow-paced, slugfest kind of fight, and a fight that I would love to watch in March Madness. Now, Vanderbilt and McNeese. There's always a 12 seed that upsets a 5. I don't think it's going to be McNeese this year, though. Vanderbilt had a very, very good showing in the SEC tournament. Tyler Tanner for Vanderbilt has been amazing this year. But the question is, did Vanderbilt leave it all out there on the SEC tournament? McNeese last year was my sweetheart kind of team. I really wanted them to make a deep Cinderella run. With Amir Khan being back as well, the Aura God.
Two baby Ninas, I feel like Max Payne. Baby, I'm traveling, I'm selling everything. I got it on my back. I know these niggas have to give me, so I'll go to Mac. You better know I got it with me.
With that big ass boom box walking around. Dude's a legend. But with him being back, can McNeese do it? I would say they probably have the best chance out of the 12 seeds. But Vanderbilt, if Vanderbilt just plays their game, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy for Vanderbilt. But that'll be a very, very, very fun game to watch. Moving on down this side of the bracket, the upset potential is crazy. Nebraska versus Troy is the next matchup. A 4 seed versus a 13 seed. This is one of the first matchups since the 80s where neither team has won an NCAA tournament game. Neither team has. Troy and Nebraska both are searching for it. I want to take Troy so badly here. Nebraska has been ice cold versus tournament teams in the back half of the season. Troy has been red hot as of late in their conference. I'm still going to lean Nebraska and Fred Hoiberg's men, but this is one where, again, they have similar pace of play. They have similar efficiency ratings. When you have a lower seed team, or I guess a higher seed team, I got to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with that. When you have a higher seed team, I guess would it count as a lower seed team? When the number bigger next to a team, like Troy, but they have similar pace of play, similar efficiency, they are just... Those are the sneaky fucking games. Those are the sneaky ones that catch you by surprise. The opportunity is there for the upset. I typically like to lean upset, but I don't want to go too upset heavy in my bracket. We're going to lean Nebraska, but Troy has a very, very good chance to upset Fred Hoiberg's men. Moving down the bracket, VCU and North Carolina, another just amazing matchup. They are like dead nuts.
What that mean, nigga?
On the same efficiency, same pace of play. It'll be very fast paced but very efficient. Caleb Wilson being out is massive for UNC. He's done for the season. That's why I'm leaning VCU to get the upset. The number 11 seed VCU going over the number 6 seed North Carolina. Hey, when it happens, report back here and say, oh my God, you're so goated. And I'll say, I know, thank you, I called it. Moving down this region, we have Illinois versus Penn. TJ Power for Fran McCaffrey's Penn obviously lit it up in their conference championship for the Ivy League. 40 points and like 12 assists as well. Was absolutely crazy. And it was making me lean towards Penn, but I was drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much. Give me Illinois. The numbers back up Illinois so much this year. Keaton Wagler has been phenomenal. Their big men down low have been amazing. They're a great three-point shooting team. All the numbers back them up. Give me Illinois. I was drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, but I stopped. Give me Illinois. Now we have St. Mary's versus Texas A&M. This one will also be pretty quick. I'm going to go St. Mary's here as well. I was drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit on Texas A&M. St. Mary's is a pretty damn good ball club this year. Give me St. Mary's. And Houston versus Idaho. Yeah, we don't even need to talk about that. Houston easily by whatever they want. Moving on to the West region. Arizona versus Long Island. The 1 seeds are so just damn good this year. Arizona easily. Villanova versus Utah State. This is another 9 versus 8 seed matchup where I'm taking the 9 seed again. Utah State, just they're favored too. The sportsbooks have them favored. They just seem like a team that's gonna get it done in that game. Since 2018, number 9 seeds are 18-10 versus 8 seeds. MJ Collins is going to have to be big for Utah State. I think Utah State will still be able to get it done, but Villanova has the tourney experience. But Villanova does have the tourney experience. They are a historic blue blood type of college basketball team, but I still think Utah State will get it done. Rose. Holy shit. This video is cursed. Moving on down the West region, we have Wisconsin versus High Point. Woo! This one is a heater. A 12 seed has defeated a 5 seed in 34 of the last 40 NCAA tournaments. This is going to be fast-paced, lots of scoring. This is going to be high-flying, lots of action. High Point loves to shoot the 3 ball. They are amazing with the turnover differential this year. They are on a 14-game winning streak. But I think I'm still going to take Wisconsin. This is one where I really, really want to take High Point. But it's one of those where I'm kind of psyching myself out on it. Where I feel like everybody's in on High Point right now. That it's just not going to happen. I would love for it to happen, but I don't know. I just don't know. I'm still leaning Wisconsin. Partly because, too, going into the next matchup, Arkansas versus Hawaii. I'm taking Arkansas. Coach Calsman and Darius Acuff. Can we get a Darius Acuff moment?
Yeah, I love make shit dip. Yeah, I get out your chip.
This dude, Darius Acuff, is a beast. He is a beast. He has the potential, depending on Arkansas's tournament run this year, he has the potential to be the best Coach Cal guard of all time. It's literally just him and Derrick Rose right now. Darius Acuff, I'm in love with Darius Acuff right now. I just simply am in love with him.
That's kind of gay, but hey.
But Arkansas-Wisconsin matchup in the round of 32. banger. Give me that. Moving on, though, BYU versus Texas or North Carolina State University. I am going to take BYU, but BYU has a tough fucking run. I will say, though, BYU is my other Cinderella team. BYU, I have them at my bracket beating whoever wins the first 4 in game. They will then beat Gonzaga. They will beat Purdue and then lose to Arizona. But it'd be that'd be a great tournament run to make it all the way to the Sweet 16/Elite 8 for BYU. AJ DeBonsta is going to be the be-all, end-all for BYU, but we've seen him play 40 fucking minutes a game. He will do it if he wants to or has to or needs to. He is right now my number 1 player in the nation. I think DeBonsta is going to power this BYU team. I've said it for a while. BYU is very dangerous, and I think he's going to power them into a Sweet 16 appearance. The final game that I will be talking about in this region will, of course, be Miami and Missouri. I was leaning Miami at first, but now I'm taking Missouri. Missouri basically just gets a home game right now. They get to host Miami. And the 10 versus 7 seed is always tantalizing for an upset. I'm going to take Mizzou and obviously Purdue over Queens. Finishing off this video, though, we will be doing the Midwest region, which is maybe the most exciting. This one's going to be very, very fun. This one's going to be very good. Michigan obviously is going to win their game. We don't need to worry about that. But Georgia and St. Louis, I'm taking St. Louis, another 9 versus 8 seed. It's going to be a super, super fast-paced game. Georgia is very athletic, but St. Louis is such a great shot-making team. But I'm going to take Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Robbie Avila. He is going to be the difference maker in this game. He's a great shot maker and just an overall fun presence to have. I'm taking St. Louis versus Georgia, but that's going to be a great game. That game is going to be, there might be 500 points scored in that game. That's a huge game. Moving on to Texas Tech and Akron. This is another 5 versus 12 seed. That's just suspect. It's suspect. With no JT Toppin, Texas Tech hasn't been as good, but they've still been very good. Christian Anderson has been amazing for them. They are just an overall very good team. I'm still going to take Texas Tech, but that means I have every 5 seed winning, which is just not going to happen. I just don't know. I don't know. All the 5 seeds look good this year. They just look good. I don't know. That one's going to be another really good game. But give me Texas Tech and Christian Anderson propelling them to a victory. Now, maybe one of the biggest stories, probably the biggest story in all of NCAA athletics right now. Aiden Holloway arrested for Alabama. A felony drug charge. Double whammy. Give me Hofstra.
What you want, 'cause you got it, baby. I pull up, see you watching, baby.
Going over Alabama because of that. LeBaron Filion for Alabama is very, very good, but losing someone like Aiden Holloway, who is overall probably your best player, who's been lighting it up from beyond the arc when 3-pointers is literally Alabama's MO. Give me Hofstra to control that ball game. Alabama's locker room is unsettled after the arrest of Aiden Holloway, which makes sense. Give me Hofstra to get a massive, massive upset on Friday. Don't say I didn't warn you. Give me Hofstra. Moving on down the bracket, we have Tennessee versus Miami of Ohio or SMU. I would honestly be surprised if Miami of Ohio even beats SMU. I like this story a lot, and I really wish they would have just gotten a solid... I wish they would have just got... They wouldn't have had to play a first 4 in game. I wish they would have gotten an at-large bid. But that being said, then if they do beat SMU being matched up against Tennessee, give me Tennessee easily. Nate Ament is honestly probably the most underrated player in the nation right now. Darius Acuff is starting to get his flowers. It was Acuff. Now I would say it's Nate Ament. I'm a huge Nate Ament guy. He is going to be huge for Tennessee, and I don't think Tennessee is getting enough love right now. They are going to be a Sweet 16 team, and they will be very tough for my Iowa State Cyclones to beat. They could go on to the Elite Eight. Tennessee, with Nate Ament, could be very, very dangerous. Moving on, Virginia and Wright State. I'm going to take Virginia, but I switched it. I had Wright State. I switched it right before I started recording. Since 2015, 10 of the 11 1-3 seeds to lose in the first round were ranked outside of the top 12 in the AP preseason poll. That's a mouthful, but you know who fits that category? Virginia. They were ranked outside of the top 12 in the AP preseason poll. And they're playing Wright State. I don't know what it is about this matchup. I'm still taking Virginia. But if there's an upset to be had, it's right there. Now, Kentucky and Santa Clara. Give me Santa Clara over Kentucky. Kentucky has been very disappointing this year. Again, this is another similar pace of play and efficiency level. The upset is just there sitting for it. Give me Santa Clara. I love that matchup. And then Iowa State versus Tennessee State to finish out the bracket. Iowa State. Of course, it's going to be Iowa State. And then I'll just do some other interesting matchups if this first round goes how I believe. Some other interesting matchups. Vanderbilt, Nebraska would be amazing in the round of 32. I have Vanderbilt going through. Other round of 32 matchups, UCLA, like I said, I do have them beating UConn in the round of 32, but then losing to Tom Izzo's Michigan State in the round of 16. KU, I have beating St. John's in the round of 32. Arkansas could make a deep tournament run. I feel bad for the teams in the West region, having Arizona and Gonzaga and Purdue. I think that West region is a gauntlet. Wisconsin and Arkansas are in tough spots. BYU would have to beat Texas or NCSU. They would have to beat either them, and then probably Gonzaga, and then probably Purdue, and then probably Arizona. Like, Arkansas, again, would have to beat Hawaii, and then have to beat Wisconsin, and then have to beat Arizona, like, barring any crazy, massive upsets up to it. The West region is a gauntlet. It's so tough for these teams. They're very good teams in here that just aren't going to be able to get it done. Purdue is another team. Keep an eye on them for an early upset watch. Everybody's very high on them right now because of them obviously winning the Big Ten tournament. It shows that they can beat anybody. But that also leads me to Michigan, which I didn't really touch on because their first round matchup is going to be super easy. Michigan, with some of the injuries that they've racked up, could be on upset alert. I don't think a team like St. Louis could get it done. I don't think it'd be within the first two rounds. But maybe if Georgia got through, Georgia's athleticism could very well keep up with Michigan right now. Like Texas Tech, if Texas Tech had JT Toppin and Michigan had their injuries that they have, obviously, I would honestly lean Texas Tech. But I do have some bias in my bracket. I do have Iowa State beating Tennessee in the Sweet 16. And then, you know what? In the Elite Eight, I have Iowa State beating Michigan. Sue me. Iowa State, I have beating Michigan. I have Houston beating Florida. And then my final four matchups, I guess I have Duke beating Michigan State. I do have Michigan State beating UCLA. And I have Arizona beating BYU. These are all Elite Eight matchups. And then the final four, I have Houston beating Duke and Arizona beating Iowa State. Right now, my national champion. I switched up on Houston. I do have Arizona beating Houston in a pretty low-scoring game, but I do have Arizona getting the dub there. But that national championship would be crazy. It is the national championship I predicted. I predicted. Can we get a flashback? The national champion runner-up. I believe the national championship this year will be Houston, Arizona. I think Houston will just be able to get it done. I didn't predict it, but I did have Houston winning. And right now, I'm kind of a pussy. I have Arizona winning right now. But that will do it. We will obviously be back next week. The first 2 rounds of the tournament, 64 and 32, will be done by the time I'm able to record again. But I will be very excited to bring you guys all the information, everything you need to know, Sweet 16 and onwards. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are ready. This is going to be an amazing March Madness. We saw last year just amazing fucking basketball being played. And if there's one thing about March Madness, that's all I want. Just some amazing basketball being played. And like I said, I hope you guys are ready. This is bound to be amazing. I hope you guys have your brackets filled out. Like I said, I'm recording this before the first 4 games are being played. The first 4 in games. What do you want to call them? The NCAA tournament starts Thursday. I'm recording this Tuesday, March 17th at about noon right now. But yeah, I hope you guys are ready. Fill out your brackets. This is going to be amazing. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know who your national champion is down below. Let me know who you have for upsets. Let me know everything. I appreciate you so much for being here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day. And I'm out. Peace.